They just cracked interdimensional travel.
Don't blow up. Don't blow up. Oh, yeah.
This week sees the fourth big-screen outing for the American comic book superheroes, the Fantastic Four. In the latest adventure, they're teleported to another dimension where they pick up their superpowers. They then find themselves eventually trying to save the planet. Director Josh Trank wanted this superhero story to be grounded, dramatic, and emotional. His actors see their characters as relatable.
They're relatable. It's much different because, you know, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, those characters are intrinsically kind of more independent. There's a real codependency that has to happen here because their powers are so limited. So it makes us kind of rely on one another, and the fact they are brother and sister, we're best friends, it creates for a nice foursome.
That was one of the things I loved so much about being in this specific comic book film, was that we really do rely on each other and that we are stronger together than we are, you know, on our own.
You kind of catch them in their adolescent stage, you know, as they're teenagers, and you watch them grow, and you know they go through life's obstacles and curveballs that gets thrown at them, and they have to adapt and adjust and kind of like try to do things on their own and realize that they're stronger to kind of like, you know, relying on each other, friends and family.
Well, if I do, I know who to call. The Muscle.
Jamie Bell is the latest British actor to take on a superhero role as the Fantastic Four's super-strong The Thing, covered with a rock-like skin. The actor, in his own flesh and blood, isn't that visible in the film. He uses motion capture technology to portray The Thing. While shooting, he wore a special performance capture suit and stood on stilts to give him height.
It's a little uncomfortable because you can't move the way you really want to move. They're quite limiting in terms of your range of movement. But it's essential for these guys. You know, they have to look, you know, I'm like 5'8", so the character's like 6'8". So it's more reference for these guys more than anything else.
So it must look quite strange on the set.
Absurd. Well, I'm basically wearing pajamas, like luminous green pajamas with a little cap on these stilts. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they could actually take me seriously at all, in fairness, because it's a pretty bad look.
Jamie Bell wasn't the only British actor in the cast. Joining him was Toby Kebbell, playing the bad guy Dr. Doom. It's become a familiar reality in recent years, the British being the villains in Hollywood studio films.
I mean, they love to make us the bad guys. They won't let that stuff from the 1700s go, will they? They just won't let it get the Kentucky rifle. They beat us. They beat us fair and square, but we're still the villains. I'm joking, of course.
I'd like to bring out director Josh Trank.
The cast and director have been busy promoting the film. It's a picture that's been plagued by numerous reports of troubles during its production. You know, there's been a lot of chatter online and among journalists writing stories about this film, some of which have a negative take. What are your own thoughts about that?
I think very few people in any kind of artistic enterprise can create something and not have it open to public discussion. I really don't, I can't think of a single medium to where you create, you know, something artistically, you're creating something, and yeah, this business absolutely, over the growth of the past couple of years with blogs and everything, has an exponential amount of critics, and I think that's an inevitable part of it. Whether or not you want to go online and search it out is your own thing.
The cast is no doubt keeping its eyes on the prize, hoping the film won't stumble at the box office. The studio is proceeding with outward confidence, with a Fantastic Four sequel already announced for 2017.
What's coming? What is coming?
The answers.